Good morning, friend. Neville for the win here. We're about to show you how to create the cherry picker, or just a mobile scaffold so that you can work on maybe side of the buildings, yada yada, whatever you use scaffolds for. So let's go down. Oh, we didn't go all the way. There we go. So obviously we'll start with the base, which I did out of metal because it's heavy base, a bit of stability while you're high up there. So depending on how tall you want to be able to go up, so my one only goes up to about there on these massive towers. If you want to try and get to the top, you'll want to go big. So big base, and your what I'm just using the pipes, but your scissor lifter is just going to be longer. So let's try to make this fill out the metal so that the metal can be our guide as to, there we go. So as you can see, the pop rivets, that just means that that metal is a full square and it's a full 4x4 square. So this is going to be quite big, and I'm not going to do all of it. I'm just going to show you how to get it going, because really you're just repeating one step over and over as many times as you care to. Now I have heard that there is a limit on how many bearings you should put on a vehicle, because the more bearings you put on, the laggier it gets. So this guy has 7 levels, which means it is with each level it's 3 bearings, so 3 times 7 is 21. Yeah, anyway, and then we've even got the bearings, that's the word. We've even got bearings for the tyres and all that, but I don't know, it doesn't seem to affect my game. Maybe if someone else is in here, but I am playing by myself. So here we go. You guys should know how to do wheels. We'll show you how I've got the wheels like that though. So, because one of the coolest things in this game I've found is actually the controllers, because the controllers can allow you to do so many things, get so many different angles, to do whatever you want, because all of that is done with the controllers. I also, the first time that I started to create this cherry picker, I had it so the wheels not only would go this way, but I could turn them to go this way. The only problem was, yes, I could get it to go forward and backwards, but I couldn't turn it while it was on that side. It always had to be facing that way for the wheels to be able to turn. I wasn't able to actually get the right turn to get it to work. So there we go. It's a nice stable base. Clank. Okay, so I shall start with showing you about the wheels. Sounds good. So we put a bearing, put something on the bearing, because it's that bearing that we're actually going to be using the controller to affect the angles. So there, nope, there, and there, with, I think I went 3. Now, as you'll notice, the tool that comes out and the noise that it makes. See how it's a drill bit and it makes a V noise? It means that you've actually attached it to the bearing. Whereas if you put it somewhere else, it's a hammer, so it's not attached to the bearing, which can sometimes be like those tricky things where you're trying to add onto the bearing. So now let's go and get our controller here, nifty little thing. So I popped it all in the center with my other guy, and I like to have it with the screen facing up. Alrighty, pop it on, there we go. Does it, come on, you can do it, no, too far, there we go. That on there, and that on there. Now, you can either figure it out by looking at this as to which way that you want to rotate it, and then change the degrees while it's in here, so it will be positive or negative, or you can change it with this. So obviously positive means that it's going to go around that way and point down, but if I wanted it to point up, and I've already put it to positive, I can just right click and it will change to going that way. So we want the wheels to be pointing up. See how they're pointing up? We want the wheels to be pointing up in its default. So grey means it's its default position. Whenever it's not on a lift, it will resume this position. When you put it on a lift, it straightens everything out, so you won't get you won't get what you want. Anyway, that's the angle of the wheels. Obviously you want it to be, I had it at 30, and then when I activated them they would go in a completely I'm going what did I actually have it at? Great to have one already built. Yeah, I did go 90. So, and we set this up to go 90, so that when we have a button down, and we connect the button to the controller, and we activate the button, see how this now goes 90 degrees to where it was. So that, nice and stable on the ground, press that with your wheel on it and you'll be able to take off. Okay, so that's that, the basics of that. So that's where we've got it there. Now I've got the steering on the back and only the engine on the front, because I just found it a lot more stable that way when driving. Also, the suspension being on an angle can make it more stable and not as rough to drive, because driving in here can be a bit crazy. Alrighty, let's move on to the scissor lifter, which I like to have as those pipes as you saw. So we'll put pipe in there, the long pipe there. We've already got our ball bearings, our controller, our switch, and here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 7 big blocks, so we want the middle one. 1, 2, 3. So this is the 4th big block, and that's more or less the center. So the reason you want it close to the center is again for stability. If you have it all the way over this end, if I had it all the way over that end, then when I lifted up my platform, the platform would be over the front of this base, and therefore would be more likely to tip. So that's why we've got to start near the center. Now we want to place a bearing. Q, change it to go that way. Now that guy I only did 2, so it would I would go up 4 because it being a scissor lift. Yeah, actually it wouldn't go up exactly 4, but anyway. Dun, dun, dun. And then a bearing back to one of these, go back the same way with the same amount, put another one on here, bearing there, a short, gonna pop that there, and the controller there. Okay, and a short one. Now I've got it like this because that bearing is going to level the rest of the levels out. So again, I'll show on this guy. You click one of these and we'll go to this and you'll see all the mess, but anyway, the ball bearing there, it turns, then that one goes 90, then the one up there, that 3 makes the rest of these level. So you can actually have multiple levels. Because if I didn't have, which 3 is it? That 3. If I didn't have that 3, then the whole platform would be at that angle, which is, I believe, 45-degree angle. Okay, now we need a new controller, and we'll just pop it down here so it's wrong. There we go. Fill it back in with the wrong material. There's the controller. Connect all of the bearings. There we go, there we go, there we go. See, we only want to connect those 3. That's why in my showcase video, when I saw that the bearing came up with a 4, is the reason why I knew that I grabbed the wrong one, because it's only ever 3. Now, we go in here. We want the first one to go to 45, then 90, and back to 45 to make it level again. Okay, now we need a switch to turn it on, and the switch connected. Now let's go. Ta-da! So obviously that's a much higher level. Let's see how many of these it actually is. High. That's 1, 2, 3. Whoa. Too close. Edit that out. Okay. Woo. Here we go. I can do it. I can do it. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Yeah, about 6 high. So plenty high enough that you can't get to it from down here. Okay, now let's put, and again you just repeat over and over and over. When I got to this guy, this is why it's frustrating I only have one switch, so I think you'll find, even though it's fun having the switches up there, I'm gonna have to change them to be back down here, because as soon as I get off the cherry picker, I can't lower it back down to drive it, so I have to put it back on a lifter. And yeah, it's tedious, annoying, you lose your position, all that stuff. So I'll just have it up that when I'm actually up here, if I want to go up and down, I'll just jump in here, I'll press the button, and jump back out. Okay, so we've got the first level. Now, again, as I said, you can just rinse and repeat, but I also want to show you that you can make the levels smaller on the next one. So if you want to be more accurate in your height, you just do the same thing, but obviously change the height. And over here with one more bearing, and then if you want it to end, you place one up, and that's where you can put your platform on top of that. So we'll go one more controller, one more switch, and connect them all. Dun, 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 dun. 1, 2, 3, done. Yeah, so if all it is you go 45, the opposite 90, 45, and if, like, see how that's all mucked up? It's because I've put them in the wrong direction. I should have been positive, I should have been negative. So the easiest way to do it, there you go, fix it up like that, so you're not trying to mess around inside the controller working out, whoops, I accidentally went positive instead of negative, going back in there and back and forth. You just right click to change the direction of the bearings. Now pull this back down, and then you can place your platform on that. You don't have to make it the exact same size, I just did, because, I don't know, I did. Now, there we go, and keep going. Oh, too far. Keep on. I don't know why I'm just making it pretty, and I'm just showing it off. Again, too far. Too far. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. And now you can place your seat up here, connect the switches to the seat, so that when you get in the seat you've got the buttons. So we press 1 and we go up, press 2 and we go up a little. Nice. And then if you get off, you're doing whatever you need to do and you fall off, it's all the way up there, but the buttons are down here for you to bring it back down. And back down it goes. So the bearings do react to how much weight it actually has on it. So if you noticed when I went up the first time, with how big that was, I leaned forward a little bit. It might, because I don't have it on different reaction times, which is another cool thing with your controllers, or controllers that are connected to the same structure, because anything that you're crafting has to be on the same structure for it to affect it. So I can't go over to my ship and connect like my seat over to anything over here or over here, because they're not the same structure. So even if I put a structure down here on the ground, I can't connect them. So yeah, anyway, all of these controllers are connected globally to a timer in here. So if you notice, all of this just happens at the same time, but I can have it happen at different times, which it will look funky, but oh yeah, watch it go up, see how those two go at the same time, and then that one went at a different time. Wow, that was almost like a jack-in-the-box bouncing back and forth like that. Doot, doot. Anyway, so yeah, that is the tutorial of how I created the cherry picker / mobile scaffold, and I shall endeavour to show you how I made the airship. Get in it. There we go. On how it vexes me. So before I came over here, 4 thrusters was not enough, so I put a 5th one in, and now 5 is too much. So it's my hover ship. I'm hovering, and I can go up a little bit, and I can go side to side. Anyway, I have a video of that, and if you're really skilled, oh my god, you might be able to use that hover ship instead of the cherry picker, because as you saw, I can get off, but I can't bring this guy back down if he's too high. So let's go ahead and turn off the thrusters. Okay, well, yeah, thanks a lot for listening, and I hope you guys have a great day, and hopefully I'll catch you later. Bye.